It's January 28th, 2023. I'm 23 years old. I'm walking around a busy shopping district in my hometown. There's a lot of people walking around, and I'm out there because it's a pretty important day for me. On this day, I have decided that for the first time in my life, I will finally, at the age of 23, approach a girl. And bro, I was nervous as fuck, okay? I got myself a tea from Starbucks, like a hot tea, and I just started walking around, and I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if I was gonna get a girl's number or not. I didn't know if, I was gonna get rejected or anything, like, in a weird way. So I didn't really have any hopes going into this, except for one, which was, I just hope that, at some point in the next few hours, I'm actually gonna do it. That's the most important thing for me, was I hope that I just get out of my own head and just do it. Because up to that point in my life, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was a very shy, lonely, awkward guy. This is embarrassing to admit, but even in high school, especially in high school, I was awkward, but I didn't even go to my high school prom because I was too nervous to ask a girl out. And to be honest, I didn't even really know any girls like that, like well enough to, ask them to prom. So I just missed out on so many, opportunities in life, like so many core memories, just because I was afraid of like taking that initiative and asking a girl out. And like almost any other, introverted kind of socially anxious guy who doesn't go to parties and stuff, I was just relying on dating apps. And of course, all the photos on my dating apps sucked. They were all blurry, and I wasn't really like a guy who liked taking photos of himself in the first place. So throughout basically my entire college experience and my early 20s, I was just on dating apps and barely getting any matches, and just years of loneliness, like maybe one hookup a year or something, but like just very, very lonely and, craving some genuine, like, feminine warmth in my life. And I got to a point right around, 2023 where I was using dating apps still. I remember feeling kind of annoyed because I was like, dude, you know what? I feel like if I could actually talk to some of these girls in real life, some of them would like me. Like if we got to actually know each other and, make eye contact, and I would make her laugh or something. Cause like I have friends, right? Like I know how to talk to people. So like, I'm sure that if I got to know some of these girls, like some of them would like me. But that was the issue, is like, how do I actually put myself in front of some of these girls? Really the only answer that made sense was approaching, which terrified me. But it also kind of gave me hope that, maybe there's a version of me out there who's just on a whole other level confidence-wise. He's, confident enough in himself to just like walk up to a girl at a Starbucks or something and, say hi to her, get to know her, get her number. He feels confident and, he feels himself when he's talking to women that he likes. He's not using the dating apps. He's not paying, $30 a month for some bullshit premium subscription. He's socially free. But the only way I would ever become that guy was if I genuinely just started to approach women and, face the biggest fear, which was to do that. So I'm out here again, January 28th, 2023. I'm walking around with this like hot tea in my hand, and I set this big goal for myself. I was like, all right, I'm gonna approach like 5 girls today, bro. 5 girls. I've been quiet all my life. Fuck it, no more of that bullshit. Today, 5 girls are being approached. And 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by. I haven't approached a girl yet. I was just been walking around this shopping district, pretty much just making excuses every time I saw a girl that I thought was cute. I would see a girl and I was like, nah, she's walking too fast. Like it would be kind of weird to like chase after her, I would see another girl and be like, nah, she's with friends. Like it would be kind of weird if I like interrupted them. That'd be kind of rude of me. Like, what if they're hanging out for the first time in a long time and they're like happy to see each other? Like who am I to come in and like ruin their hangout, Kept coming up with all these like nice guy excuses. I remember I would even like go into clothing stores and just like pretend to shop. And but it was starting to get dark. It was the winter, it was getting very cold. There was less and less people walking around. Some of the shops were closing down already, and it really started to hit me. And I was like, I have to do something like right now. Like I have to approach a girl. I'm not leaving until I approach a girl, because what's waiting for me at home is so much worse than rejection. Because what's waiting for me at home is, you know, I get home, I feel horrible about myself. You know, I'm like laying in bed, swiping on dating apps again with just this like pain of regret in my stomach and throat. Like, you know, when you walk by a girl knowing that you could have said something to her, but then you don't, and you literally feel pain like in your throat. And I didn't want to feel that pain again of just like laying in bed by myself at night on my phone. Just another day goes by of staying the same. And I knew that that pain was just, it was gonna be so much worse than whatever, you know, rejection was gonna feel like. You know, even if I had the most awkward conversation where I didn't even know what to say, at least I would go home that day feeling happy that I actually did something that I was afraid of doing. So I walk into this, Forever 21, I think, this clothing store, as like one last attempt. Maybe there's a girl in there that, you know, I think is cute and I could actually approach. 10 seconds later, bro, I shit you not, I'm staring at probably the prettiest girl that I've seen that entire day. She's 10 feet away from me and she's with a friend of hers, but they're like casually like shopping and you're kind of like talking with each other, you're looking at clothing. She's like holding a shirt, kind of like showing her friend. And I'm like, dude, this is like the most perfect situation that I'll ever get, like today. For sure, this is like my last chance. So with my heart pounding and my entire body trembling, I just start walking towards her. I say basically the first thing that comes to my mind, which was, hey, excuse me, do you know where the men's section is? And she's like, I think it's downstairs. But before she could even finish her sentence, I interrupted her and I was like, honestly, I just thought you were really cute. I wanted to come say hi, introduce myself. My name is Jacob. And I stick my hand out to shake her hand. And I look into her eyes and bro, she is smiling, she's blushing. She says thank you and, you know, we shake hands a little bit, kind of like casually. And after that, bro, it was kind of a blur. Talking felt easy, way easier than I thought it was gonna be. We talked about work and, you know, what she did for a living and like where she lived kind of in the general, you know, area of the city, what she was up to that day. I told her about myself as well, kind of like the similar topics. And bro, after like 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, well, I mean, I'd love to grab your number and we could like do something. And she was like, yeah, sure, you know, take my number. So I pull out my phone to get her number and bro, like my hand is shaking. Like it's fucking shaking. I'm trying to hide it as best as I can. And, you know, I give her my phone and she, you know, she puts her number in. I think she was also kind of nervous, to be honest. And truthfully, bro, her giving me her number was like the cherry on top. It felt good, obviously, but I was just proud of myself for actually pushing myself to do something that I was so afraid of doing. And that approach single-handedly changed the trajectory of my life, because for the entire year of 2023, I just pushed myself to approach women. Hey, excuse me, hi, it's random. I was across the street and I saw you, I thought you were really cute, and I just wanted to say hi.
Thank you, that's
Yeah,
nice.
I dodged traffic to come say hi to you.
That's so nice.
Yeah, what's your name? Cool. Alrighty, well, I'd love to grab your number and like, grab coffee or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
How long are you in town?
And I wasn't using dating apps anymore. I was forcing myself to rewrite the narrative in my own head that I wasn't meant to be confident, that, you know, girls didn't like being approached and, you know, I'm creepy or something, or like, you know, girls don't want to be bothered. This narrative in my head that was just, part of it was just my own experience growing up, part of it is just, you know, social media and all the stuff we see, but I was like determined to live life this way. I wanted to be that guy who could just approach a girl on the sidewalk casually. And I pushed myself, you know, to approach at least a few girls per week, sometimes a few girls per day. And literally at the end of 2023, I met a girl. I approached her, we went on a few dates, and we've been dating for almost 3 years now. And it just changed my life, bro, to the point where like now I literally help other guys approach women. Like I help motivate them to approach women, because I've seen how much more confident you become in yourself once you start doing this. So if you're watching this video and you're at a point in your life where you feel like you want to approach women, it's something that you want to do really badly, but you just feel like it's impossible and there's all these thoughts in your head that kind of like prevent you from doing it, I want to give you this piece of advice, which is you're allowed to be awkward. You're allowed to walk up to a girl and be nervous as fuck and stutter and, you know, have your face be red and fucking be, you know, sweating literally and, you know, barely able to talk. Bro, even if the conversation goes horribly, that's okay. Us guys, we do so much in our lives to like avoid feeling vulnerable and avoid putting ourselves in that situation where we feel like, you know, we need something, right? And it feels kind of desperate sometimes, like approaching a girl, it feels kind of like, oh, like I'm being needy, I'm being desperate. But to be honest, girls don't really see it that way at all. A lot of girls actually really like being approached, they're open to it. Some girls obviously aren't, but as long as you're respectful about it, most women are actually pretty chill and they're open to, you know, talking to you, even if they're married or, you know, have a boyfriend. I've had women that I've approached who, you know, I spoke to for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then at the end of the conversation, they were like, I'm actually married, but thank you for approaching me. Like, it was, you know, it was fun. Thank you, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to grab a coffee or something if you're...
I'm married.
Okay, well, nice. Well, enjoy your marriage. Enjoy hanging out with your friend. See ya. But I don't know, I just want to let you know that like you're allowed to be awkward and stuff like that. Like the world won't end if you approach a girl and you're awkward as fuck. Even if she thinks you're weird, it's like you're gonna be fine. And you kind of need to feel that. You kind of need to feel that like rock bottom, or like that fear, that worst fear that you have of like, what if I approach a girl and it's weird and I don't know what to say? What would happen? And yeah, bro, like you have to feel that. There's no avoiding it. Like you can't just expect yourself to be perfect. Human interaction is not perfect, and it's okay if you're nervous and awkward and shy and cringy. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. And what you're gonna notice is that you're gonna feel really good about yourself for just like trying. And eventually you're gonna feel more comfortable in these, you know, situations as you keep trying, and you'll get there, bro. I promise you that you'll get there. If you do need additional support, I actually have a private community, and you could reach out to me directly in that community. There's also like course content on, you know, your internal confidence, how to achieve that, where to approach women, like what places are ideal, how you actually go about starting the conversation, how you transition to getting her number, how to set up a date through text. I mean, these are all things that I wish I knew growing up, and like when I was in my, you know, college years or in my 20s, in my early 20s. And it's not bullshit pickup artist advice or like, you know, aggressive red pill advice. It's just like down to earth, regular human being advice, because we're all humans and it's okay. You try and fail and then you keep trying, eventually you'll succeed. So definitely check out that link below if you want extra help. And that's it for this video, guys. I will see you next time.